Spreading all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome officially to the start of our Madden 26 rebuilds. That's right, we've done rebuilds on the channel for a few years now. Some have been successful, some have been more successful than others, but we begin the cycle of Madden 26 with our first team, the New Orleans Saints. And the reason I chose the New Orleans Saints is because I personally think the New Orleans Saints might be the worst team in the NFL this year. There's a real good chance they win 2 to 3 games this year. I don't want to say they go winless because I don't know if we'll ever see another winless team, especially with the way that they keep adding more games, and I'm sure we'll get to 18 games eventually. I don't know if we'll ever see another winless team. We'll probably just have the Lions and the Browns be the only winless teams in the modern era. So I really could see the Saints winning 2, 3 games this year. Their roster is just so bad. They've got nothing redeeming on this team except for maybe Chris Olave, but Chris Olave can't stay healthy because every quarterback he has throws him a hospital ball that he gets smoked in the head with. So maybe Chris Olave can be a redeeming quality if he stays healthy. They drafted Kelvin Banks, who I do like. I think he's a really good offensive tackle out of Texas. They've got Fuaga. The best redeeming quality for this team is their offensive line. Their offensive line is fairly young and promising. That's really the best feature they have. But they've got an aging Alvin Kamara. They've got Cam Akers, who I didn't even realize was on the freaking team. They've got no quarterback. Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck are your two options because Derek Carr called it a career. So you got nothing at quarterback. Outside of Chris Olave, you've got Brandon Cooks, Rashid Shaheed. Those guys are fine for a game or two over the course of a 17-game season. Are they going to be reliable enough? Probably not. We've seen it over the past couple of years. Brandon Cooks used to be like that, but he's old now. This team's got nothing on defense. You've got Chase Young, who I would love personally. I would absolutely love if Chase Young could figure it out at the NFL level. He was one of my he still is one of my favorite Buckeyes of the past 15, 20 years. So I would love if Chase Young could figure it out, but he hasn't been able to. Whether that's injuries or just not being able to get it together, I don't know. He just hasn't been able to put it all together, the athleticism and the talent and all that kind of stuff. Then they've got an aging Cam Hayward, who I honestly thought has retired like 6 times already, but he's still here. And they've got I mean, Demario Davis is an ancient player as well in terms of the NFL. It's not looking good. Tyrann Mathieu retired, so you got not a lot of redeeming qualities for the New Orleans Saints. But that is why they are the perfect first team for me to rebuild here in Madden 26. If you're excited for our rebuilds to be back, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Once we're able to start doing retro rebuilds again, once the modders get their hands on Madden 26 and are able to get into the files and upload all of the retro rebuilds that have the face scans and the player models and all that kind of stuff, then we'll start delving more into big time rebuilds where we go back to like 2012 or 2015 or the stuff we've done previously on the channel before. But right now, we're just working with the modern day, the modern rosters. I'm using the rosters that the base game give you. So there we go. And we're not going to be having any we're not going to have any real life draft classes. We're just doing auto generated stuff. So I'm excited for the Madden rebuilds to be back. I haven't done a Madden rebuild in a few months because I hadn't played Madden 25 in a few months. So I was considering maybe doing one more Madden 25 rebuild to kind of send that game off, even though it really sucked. But then I was like, you know what? I just don't want to play the game. So I didn't do one. And here we are at Madden 26. I'm excited and I hope you guys are too. Let's get into our first rebuild of Madden 26, rebuilding the New Orleans Saints. This is the pitiful offense that I had mentioned previously in the intro. This is what we're working with. We've got Chris Olave, Kelvin Banks, Fuaga is a decent young offensive lineman. I think the Saints have done the job for us in terms of our tackles. We don't have to worry about drafting an offensive tackle in this entire rebuild. Fuaga and Banks will probably be our guys this entire video. Eric McCoy, if we can re-sign him and keep him around, can be our center for the entire rebuild. Cesar Ruiz can probably be our offensive guard for the entire rebuild. Trevor Penning, I doubt, will be our guard for the entire rebuild, but most of this offensive line is already done. Maybe we do replace Cesar Ruiz, but right now I'm kind of thinking we don't, but you never know. But for the most part, the offensive line's already done. We are going to need to get a new tight end because Taysom Hill is just not a good Madden player. He's a very good real-life NFL player. He's very versatile. Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, H-back, tight end. It probably could even play some linebacker if you told him to. But in the game of Madden, since he's so versatile, he's not good at one specific thing, and they happen to classify him as a tight end, and he's not good at tight end in the game. So, and he's old. So he's just kind of a weird player in a video game. You'd think that a player like that would be really good in a video game, but it just doesn't translate in the way that Madden does their stats and stuff, so he's not very good. Juwan Johnson is fine, but I don't really think he's the tight end of the future. At wide receiver, I talked about how Chris Olave is the only redeeming quality on this offense, and I like him. He's a Buckeye, love CO2, but we'll have to figure out if we can get him some help, because there's no injuries in this universe. So Chris Olave is going to be healthy every time. He's not going to get any hospital. He's going to get hospital balls, but he's not going to get hurt from them. But everybody else on the wide receiver room, I don't know. What this guy's name's Bub Means, right? It's Bub or something like that. I feel like that's his name. Yeah, Bub Means out of Pittsburgh. Can he develop? He's got normal dev. Probably not. We'll have to get some wide receivers to help out the squad. And then we've got the quarterback position. This is not even good enough to be the USFL or whatever the F they call that league. The Spring Football League. You can't even, these quarterbacks wouldn't even be in that league, and yet they have a starting job in the NFL. Tyler Shuck is their draft pick. They spent like a top 40 pick on him or something like that. They got him like the second round, I think, or maybe early third round. I can't remember exactly, but he's 25 years old as a rookie. He's the most journeyman quarterback in college football you will see probably ever now that all of the COVID years are pretty much used up now. So Tyler Shuck has been around the block. He's seen some things. But he's not going to start for us because Spencer Rattler's a higher overall and we might have a chance of developing. I doubt it. But maybe. I mean, he's in the same kind of boat as Shedeur Sanders is for the Browns. He's around that same overall. Normal dev. He's still young. He's got a good arm. He's got okay accuracies. His awareness is in the trash. His speed is not great. I feel like he should be a little bit faster than an 82, but whatever. So we have at least a little bit of a chance to develop one of these quarterbacks, but probably Spencer Rattler over Shuck. And then on defense, we've got just a graveyard of people. These guys are ancient. You've got Demario Davis, you've got Cam Jordan, you've got Justin Reed, you've got Devon Gottschall, who's not that old, but just go with me here. And then Chase Young, who's not even starting. Let me get the generate best lineup in here. And he's still not even starting. Why the heck is he not starting? Oh, because he's classified as an edge rusher, and he's not higher overall than Granderson. Okay, I get it. I'm still trying to get used to the way that they classify things now with the edge instead of like right end, left end. Now it's called edge. So I'm still trying to get away to used to the way that they format it now, the way that it looks on the screen. So we do have a promising young rookie out of Oklahoma, Danny Stutzman. I think he could be good. He's got a dev trait, which is probably just star, but that's still something. We've got a safety and Sanker, which could be good. What's his first name? I'm not familiar with this man. Jonas? Would it be Jonas Sanker? Jonas Sanker? I'm not sure. I don't remember him getting drafted. He might have been drafted day 2 when I wasn't really paying much attention. But he's here, and he's a possible replacement for Reed or for Blackman. You never know. And then we've got Riley at corner. Is it Quentin Riley? That seems right, but it could be wrong. What's this man's name? Quincy Riley. Okay. 24-year-old. Why'd they draft so many old guys? You got a 24-year-old corner as a rookie. You got a 25-year-old quarterback as a rookie. Good God, Saints. Draft some younger people. Help out the rebuild community. Good God. All right, well, we've got some work to do. I've already added in the auto-generated draft class, so we don't have to worry about that. We might just need to absolutely tank, which we might already do in the first place without me even touching the team. You never know. But we might just need to dump off as much as we can to try to help us out because this team is just the worst. So bad. So guys like Godshaw and Granderson, although Granderson's 28, there's a slight chance, but I mean, guys like Demario Davis, we don't need. He's a 90 overall. He might have some sort of value. I know sounds a little sacrilege for trading Demario Davis for a Saints fan, but in the scheme of Madden, we can't have a 36-year-old on our team for much longer. And they want to give me George Karlaftis and Jalen Waddle. Wow. And AVT. Jordan Morgan's an interesting option. Barmore, Jeremy Chin. See, this is what I'm talking about. Zay Flowers. This is what I'm talking about. Kamari Laster. This is why I want to trade Demario Davis, because we're not going to re-sign him most likely. And if we do, he's just going to keep regressing. So we might as well capitalize on his value when it's at its peak. I kind of want George Karlaftis, man. That sounds like a really good option. But I also kind of want Zay Flowers. The Ravens are just giving me Zay Flowers right up. I think I got to take the Zay Flowers deal. I can't pass that up. Demario Davis traded for Zay Flowers. That's huge. It's a massive move. I might even trade Justin Reed. Might even trade Justin Reed here. And I could probably get George... I was going to say, I probably get George Karlaftis as well. I might do that. Mikey Sanders still is an interesting option. Trayvon Diggs is cool. Ricky Pearsall. I love Paulson Adebo. I'm a big Paulson Adebo guy. Edgerrin Cooper. Ooh. Ooh. Edgerrin Cooper's a real good option. I got to take that. Edgerrin Cooper, welcome to the Saints. That's a big move. It's a really, really big move. Can I trade Alvin Kamara? Martin Emerson, Morgan Moses. I might take the Martin Emerson deal. Trade away Alvin Kamara. I know that people are probably going to get mad at me for that, but I got to get rid of these old guys. We got to go for the future, and the future is these younger players. Devon Godshaw, Kyle Pitts. I know that Kyle Pitts is kind of a meme at this point in his career, but in the game of Madden, Kyle Pitts has a real good shot of being really good. So I'm going to trade Godshaw for Kyle Pitts. We're getting so young right now. It's really awesome. Now, Cam Jordan is a guy that I probably won't trade. I've already traded Demario Davis. I can't break the hearts of Saints fans 2 times over, so I probably won't trade Cam Jordan. Charbonnet's interesting. Keanu Benton's cool. We do need a D tackle now that we traded away Godshaw. Although we have Brian Bursey, maybe we just let it ride with him. There's some interesting guys here. Nothing too spectacular. I wouldn't think that there would be for Brandon Cooks. Charbonnet I do kind of like, but I kind of like the Keanu Benton deal. I think I'm going to do that. Brandon Cooks for Keanu Benton. I'm okay with that. We've gotten rid of so many players. Cam Akers is our starting running back. We have Devin Neal. Is he out of Kansas? I think he's out of Kansas, if I'm not mistaken. If it didn't take 7 years to get there. I think he's out of Kansas. He is out of Kansas. I thought so. Maybe we just ride with him as the starting running back? We trade Cam Akers, possibly? For Jonathan Jones? Okay, so we can't trade him by himself because we're not going to get anything for him. What about if I trade Cedric Wilson? Still just Jonathan Jones. All right, good to know. What about if I trade... I could trade Taysom Hill, too. He's making so much money. No trade packages for Taysom Hill makes sense. Makes sense. We could trade Trevor Penning, maybe. I feel like we got to wait on the Trevor Penning deal if we're going to do it. Can't trade him right now. Isaiah Foskey's a guy that hasn't developed. Although it says he's got the future starter tag, which I doubt. That's hard to believe. Stutzman, Pete Werner, I like. Kool-Aid McKinstry's a good young player. Martin Emerson we added in. We got Quincy Riley, the rookie. What about if we trade Isaac Yiadom? Or Yiadom? Nothing. What about just these two? Still just Jonathan Jones. Okay. So I don't want Jonathan Jones. So how do I make a deal? How do I make a deal? Our draft capital is a little bit better now. We've got a couple fifth round picks. We got a couple sixth round picks, some fours, some threes. We got some stuff. Nothing too crazy. What about if I toss in Cedric Wilson? No, he's the problem. Okay. I could give you Rashid Shaheed, but I don't really want to trade Rashid just yet. And there's not really anybody that I'm seeing on here that makes me absolutely have to say, yes, pull the trigger on that deal, so I'm not going to do that. We might be done trading for now. We bring in a huge player in Zay Flowers. That's a huge deal to have a guy like Zay Flowers. Blackman, I could see trading. Deion Jones, Kareem Hunt. Let's see. Anybody? Arnold Ebikete's cool. Deonte Banks for another young corner option. They're not really giving me options for positions that I absolutely need, which is kind of annoying. Carl Granderson's another guy that I might want to trade. The two of these guys together, DJ Turner's cool. Junior Colson's interesting. Jawan Taylor, Debo. Okay. Darnell Mooney, John Runyon, Mason Smith, Charbonnet, Cody Barton. The DJ Turner one's kind of interesting. I kind of want to do that because then that would make us have Kool-Aid McKinstry, Martin Emerson, Quincy Riley, and DJ Turner, which would probably be a pretty good 1-2 or a pretty good cornerback room. What about if I toss in Yadam? That gives us Chris Jenkins Jr. Interesting. Dante Jackson, Debo again. I kind of want to go Debo just for the fun of it. Although his contract's probably too much. How much is Debo making nowadays? Darren Waller's back in the game. I forgot about that because he came out of retirement. Debo Samuel's an 83. How the mighty have fallen. And at 29, I can't do that. I simply can't do that. Brian Cook's a cool one, though. He'd be a nice little free safety option. But I feel like we got to get something better than just a player for these picks, or for these guys. I feel like we could get a draft pick for them. Maybe not a first round pick, but maybe a second round pick, and maybe a third round pick from Cincinnati. Yes. So Blackman, Granderson, and Yadam go to the Bengals for a second round pick. We maybe could have squeezed out a first round pick, but I'm okay with getting a second round pick and a third round pick. So our new team looks like Cam Akers at running back, although I kind of want Devin Neal to just be the guy. We might trade Cam Akers. We've got Zay Flowers in there now. Kyle Pitts is there at tight end. On defense, Chase Young will get to start, along with Cooper and Stutzman with Cam Jordan. You got Bresee and Benton. Quincy Riley's right there. I like this a lot. Sanker's going to start at safety with Howden at the other strong safety, or the other safety spot. The team's not great, but that's what the draft is for. That is what the draft is for. But the final move I might make is trading Cam Akers. I don't know if I can get anything for him, but I'm probably going to trade Cam for something. I can get Jacob Martin. There's got to be a team that needs a running back, right? Not the Bears, not the Bengals. No. He's a 77 overall, so we got to be careful. They get, wait. You get Bucky Irvin 87 overall? I know he had a good year last year, but that's crazy. Why couldn't he have been 87 overall when I was using the Bucks last year? Najee's a Charger. Some of these guys I just forgot left their other teams and went to these other teams because some information just goes in my head and goes out the other way. So I just forget some of this stuff happens. But there's not really... Ooh, hello. There's not really a ton of teams that need a running back, or at least a running back that's low overall, like Cam Akers is. So we might just have to choose a team that has it in their system, or has it in their team needs up there, which not many team needs our quarterback. We could send him to the Giants, but they have Cam Scatterbo. I don't want to do that. The Jaguars, he wouldn't even be the third best, or he'd be the third best running back, so I don't want to do that either. What about this? He'd be the second best behind Breece Hall, but Braylon Allen's there. Maybe we want to give Braylon Allen a chance. I don't know. Where do we want to send Cam? Where do we want to send Cam? Could send him to the Steelers. He'd be higher than Caleb Johnson, but I like Caleb Johnson. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I can trade for Caleb Johnson. Maybe I can make this work. I'd give you Cedric Wilson. I'd also give you Juwan Johnson. I don't need another tight end, but I'm just trying to find bodies that I don't care about. And I could give you a third round pick. Seems a little steep, but they're going to accept it. So a lot of stuff goes back the Steelers' way. We pick up a rookie running back who's interesting. I don't really know if he's going to develop that well, but we'll give him a shot. He's going to start over Devin Neal. Maybe he's got something in the bag. Who knows? But I think that's going to be all the moves that we make. We really changed this team very, very quickly. We sent away all the old pieces, brought in a lot of young pieces. I mean, Edgerrin Cooper, I wasn't expecting to bring in. Keanu Benton's cool. We've still got Kool-Aid McKinstry. We got Quincy Riley. And then on offense, we bring in Kyle Pitts, who's still young. Zay Flowers is an interesting one, even though his head looks unbelievably small in this portrait. Why is his head so small? It looks like he got shrunk, but his body stays the same. His head got shrunk. What kind of camera angle did they did my boy dirty there? His head looks tiny. That's crazy. All right, we're gonna simulate year number 1. I'll probably bring you guys back at the mid-season mark so we can go over like contract renegotiations and some scouting stuff. So we'll bring you back halfway through, about around halfway through the season. And I'm assuming we're going to be pretty bad, and that's the goal. That's the idea. So let's get simulating and see just how bad this team can be. Okay, so I'm going to bring you back here week number 12. Not because we have scouting to do, that's next week, but because we have a DB breakout and a quarterback breakout. Spencer Rattler playing well. We're 4-6 here halfway through the year. Spencer Rattler, star dev? I think Spencer Rattler has a chance to take a big step forward. I was thinking we let him air it out this week. Absolutely, I agree. And by the way, I am Kellen Moore. I didn't change the coach. Get quarterback Spencer Rattler 300 yards and 1 or fewer interceptions to get star dev. That's kind of huge. What about DB breakout? Who's the DB? Is it going to be Kool-Aid McKinstry? Is it going to be... it's Jonas Sanker. Okay. I'm okay with that. He's a young rookie going from star to superstar, most likely. We don't know. It's kind of hidden right now. We don't know what his dev trade is, but I would assume it's star to superstar. So let's advance the week to week 13 and find out if it actually is going to work. I doubt either one of them work. That's just how Madden simulation works. Or doesn't work, I guess. I doubt either of them achieve it. Let's start with the DB, so I don't want to be heartbroken right away with the quarterback. Let's see if he gets it. We're in the coach's office. He's earned 2,500 XP, but it did not go the way he wanted to. So Sanker doesn't get it. What about the big dog Spencer? Big dog's got to eat. Does he achieve it? Come on, Spencer, give me some good news. He didn't do it. So he's got 2,500 XP, but he doesn't achieve dev trait upgrade. Which kind of sucks, but he's up to a 73 overall now, so he's gone up 2 overall this point in the season. Maybe there is some promise for Spencer Rattler as the starting quarterback. The team's looking good. We found out that Kelvin Banks is star dev, not shocking at all. I would assume that Johnson also is star dev. We know that Sanker is star dev as well. Quincy Riley probably also star dev. But the team's developing. Stutzman's got a little bit of bad morale, but that's just because we're losing. We should see some hopeful good growth here, and now we get to the good stuff. Now we get the focus players plus negotiations. I'd used linebacker as my focus scout for this for the national focus. So edge rushers and all that kind of stuff are going to be, or not edge rushers, I mean Will, Sam, and Mike linebackers. Those are going to be our guys that we know a little bit more about, which is going to be good because we could use some guys to draft. But as far as the top players in the class, it's a couple of D tackles, then an edge rusher. Judging by how we're going right now, I don't know if we're going to be a top pick or not. We've got like 4 wins. If we keep winning games, we're going to win ourselves out of a top pick, which is kind of annoying. I kind of like Perry Grimes. That sounds like a really good player. 6'5", a speed rusher. I think he's going to be one of the guys that we scout. We probably need to scout a receiver, but I don't really want to. Do we scout a quarterback? Do we go down that road, or do we trust in Spencer Rattler? I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. Rodney Bigby, physical archetype. 22 years old. There's a corner that could be good. You got Zachary Singer, 6'5", out of Florida State. There's a couple left tackles. A lot of D tackles. A lot of D tackles. Another corner. A running back at the top of the class. Towards the top. Very interesting. I don't know what else I want to use my... two other focus on. Maybe just edge rusher. And maybe the quarterback. I am kind of curious about Shaquille Cumberland, so we'll scout him. And then maybe this Rodney Bigby guy. Those will be our three guys that we use. But let's get to the good stuff. Let's talk about negotiations. We have $113 million, as you can see on my opposite side of my camera, on the left side of the screen. Kyle Pitts, Rashid Shaheed, Martin Emerson, Alontae Taylor. I love Alontae Taylor. I know he doesn't get a lot of love in real life or in the game, I guess. But I'm a big Alontae Taylor guy. So a lot of these guys we don't need to bring back. Well, obviously, these guys are option guys that we'll clearly accept. Yes, I will. Cam Jordan will bring back, even though I probably shouldn't. We'll do it for the vibes. But let's get Kyle Pitts back. We probably don't have to offer him that much money. If we go 4 years and maybe give him $4 million and $5 million, it's a little bit expensive, but if he continues to grow and becomes like a 90-plus overall tight end on this type of contract, that's an absolute steal, and he's going to come back. So we get Kyle Pitts back, and we have the money to spend. Rashid Shaheed is an interesting one. I'm going to leave him on the table for now. Maybe we come back to him in the offseason, or maybe we trade him. I don't know yet. And we can probably get Martin Emerson on a slightly cheaper deal, and he's going to come back as well. Beautiful. Alontae Taylor, I'm going to also offer a contract to. We'll give him a 3-year deal, maybe 2.5 and 2. And he's going to come back. Welcome aboard. We've got Donovan Peoples-Jones, Trevor Penning, Dylan Raduns. Let's get Cam Jordan out of the way. We'll offer him a 2-year deal just because he's Cam Jordan. It's a pretty expensive contract for a 36-year-old, and he says he was looking for a better fit, but I'll reconsider with more offers like this. Wow, Cam. I can't offer you that much more money. I mean, you're not that good anymore. Trevor Penny's asking for a good amount of money for not really probably getting replaced. I think I'm going to leave everybody else on this negotiation still there because I don't know what I want to do with those guys yet. But now that we've got all that taken care of, I'm going to simulate to the end of season number 1. Hopefully we don't win too many more games, but also, crucially, it's a little bit of a tug of war. I want to lose games, but I want to see some development for our young guys, especially Spencer Rattler. Season 1 is in the books. We only won one more game after we cut the video there. So 5-12. That's a very good first season for a team that's trying to be bad. So let's see some upgrades, hopefully, for overall. Hopefully we get some good development. 74 for Spencer Rattler. That's decent progress. I'm not mad at that, especially with no dev trait. Kyle Pitts goes to an 80. Zay Flowers, 87's huge. Caleb Johnson's a 78. Okay, I'm seeing some decent progress on the offense. Stutzman's going to take some time. Cooper's a good player. Chase Young didn't really go anywhere, which I kind of hate. I wish he would just develop. Sankar, he's up to a 77. Kool-Aid's a 79. All right, I'm seeing some promise. We still got some work to do. It's only year number 1, obviously. How did the stats go, though? Is the Saints playbook going to be the move? 3,400 yards, 21 touchdowns, 9 interceptions is honestly not that bad for Spencer Rattler. I thought he was going to have like 20 interceptions or something, but maybe the Saints playbook this year is pretty good. I don't know. Rushing-wise, Caleb Johnson goes under 1,000, but still an okay season. Didn't really put up a lot, but that's because he's a low overall. It's hard for them in simulation to put up good numbers when you're that low of an overall. Rashid Shaheed goes over 1,000 with 8 touchdowns. He must be in the slot. Chris Olave has 950 with 8. Zay Flowers only has 560 and 3. He needs to get more touches. That's not acceptable. Kyle Pitts has no touchdowns and 39 catches. I bet fantasy owners are happy. Defensively, we have 125 tackles for Edgerrin Cooper, 107 for Pete Werner. Jordan Howden has 90 at the strong safety spot. Tackle for loss leader is Cam Jordan at 15, 10 for Brissy. Sack leader is Chase Young with 7.5. How did he not go up in any overalls or anything? 7.5 sacks, that's pretty good. 4.5 for Brissy, 4 for Benton, 3 for Jordan, 2.5 for Pete Werner. Interception leader is Kool-Aid with 3, 2 for Cooper and Emerson, and then 1 for a couple other guys. Okay, I'm okay with those numbers. Those aren't spectacular, but it's year number 1 on a not great team. so it makes sense the numbers wouldn't be that good. But it is time to see possible dev trade upgrades. You always get dev trade upgrades every single year. If anything happens, they get dev trade upgrades at the end of the season at the Super Bowl week. And Caleb Johnson goes up 2 skill points, which makes me think he might have been a rookie of the year, or at least maybe 1 offensive something, because 2 skill points for a guy like that is not common. And he's got superstar dev. Okay, Caleb. He did it. He had to have won rookie of the year offensively then. He's an 80 overall. That was a really good draft pick, or a really good trade then. But nobody else on the offense goes up. Saker is a superstar dev now. So we see 2 young rookies go up in dev trade in the first season. That's huge. That's really, really huge. It's the Eagles and the Ravens in the Super Bowl. We might have to move to like an Eagle playbook or something, because I would assume the Eagles are going to be unbelievable in the playbooks this year. And the Eagles do win it 24-17. Rodgers retires after 1 season in Pittsburgh, which is just, it's going to be hilarious if that actually happens, which I think it might actually happen. And also Cam Hayward's retiring, so that kind of sucks for Steelers fans. Jalen Hurts is your Super Bowl MVP. Mahomes gets MVP of the league. Puka Nacua and Micah Parsons are the players of the year. And Ashton Genty wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, not Caleb Johnson. So he must have just gone up in dev trade. Jalen Walker wins Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Falcons. So he must just have had a good luck with Caleb Johnson. He just happens to get his dev trade upgraded, regardless of winning the award or not. I'll take that, I guess. We've got re-sign period, which we need to make our final decisions. Obviously, we're going to accept Zay Flowers. We're going to accept the other one, Brissy. There it is. We need to make our final decisions on Rashid, and we need to make it on Trevor Penning and Donovan Peoples-Jones and all that kind of stuff. So who do we want to bring back here? Who do we want to bring back? And Cam Jordan retired because he's not here anymore. So I probably should have traded him to get some value out of him. All right, Groupie's still here. I probably should sign Groupie just because I need to have a kicker. Don't want to worry about it. So let's offer him a 7-year deal. He's gonna test out for you. I gave you a 7-year deal for $2 million. You're gonna turn that down? The franchise tag for a kicker is $6 million. I'll pay that. It's not that big of a deal. All right, whatever. Trevor Penning, I think I'm gonna let go. Peoples-Jones, same deal. Maybe I can package all 3 of them. Because I don't think individually they're going to give me much value. But together, maybe we can capitalize that value as best we can. So, Rashid Shaheed, Trevor Penning, and Donovan Peoples-Jones are going to be the 3 guys. And can we get anything? Dalton Kincaid's a cool one. But we already have Kyle Pitts. Tez Johnson out of Oregon, I think. Benjamin St. Juste, who's 28 already. My God. Zaire Franklin, Frankie Louvu, Dontavian Wicks, Jordan James. Interesting. We have Caleb Johnson, though. Trevor Etienne, Hunter Henry, Eric Stokes, Steve Avila. Steve Avila is kind of cool. And then Skoronski. Maybe we go Skoronski? Because we need that guard replacement for Penning. Let's go Skoronski. Seems a little weird, but he can always be replaced. Skoronski can. And I have a ton of money headed in free agency, so I'm kind of excited. But we've got Skoronski now at guard, along with Cesar Ruiz. And the offensive line right now, just like on paper, looks fairly good. I don't know how they're going to simulate, but they look fairly good. Do we trust Spencer Rattler at quarterback? That's the big question. We need to figure out what we do on the right side of the edge there. And we need a D-tackle 3. Although we could change the scheme maybe and help us out. What kind of schemes do we want to work with here? We've got an 85% vertical zone run. And we've got a couple 85%, a 3-4 under, a base 3-4, and a 4-6 defense. Let's go to a 4-6 defense right now. Okay, that helps us out a lot. That looks a little bit better. I like the way that looks. So we just got to work on Sam linebacker, maybe upgrade Pete Werner a little bit, or he upgrades himself. That way we don't have 3D tackles playing, because I just didn't like that. And then Chase Young, and then we just got to upgrade Isaiah Foskey. Okay, we're looking pretty good. We are looking pretty good. Let's get to the free agent period, because I think we're done. Yeah, we don't need to get any of these guys back. So we can just, even though I do like Will Clapp, for meme purposes alone. Let's get to free agency. We got a ton of money. Let's splash some cash, baby. Show me a good free agents class. Oh my God, it's Aiden Hutchinson. And it's Tyler Linderbaum. And it's Nick Chubb and Bobby Wagner. Oh my God, and it's Reed Blankenship. Is Aiden Hutchinson really a free agent after the season? There's no way he makes it. The Lions are going to give him an absolute bag. There's no way he gets out of get out of the Lions team. I am willing to go so far into the negative to pay Aiden Hutchinson, it's not even funny. I will give him a 6-year deal worth $90 million in salary. Not just total, $90 million in salary. I'm willing to do that. I'll give him 2 times what the Browns gave Deshaun Watson if it means him playing for me for 6 seasons. But we're going to have to battle with a bunch of teams, including the Seattle Seahawks. All right, Seattle. You want to play dirty? I'll play as dirty as I can. I will give this man so much money that he'll be like Scrooge McDuck diving in the pool of coins. He can build his new mansion out of dollar bills. That's how much money I'm willing to give Aiden Hutchinson right now. He will wreck people in the sim. I just need to overpay. So let's give him all the money in the world. That puts us a bar ahead of Seattle. Please choose me. I will also severely overpay for Tyler Linderbaum, which means we can move Eric McCoy to guard and be totally awesome. So hopefully that works for Tyler Linderbaum. Oh my God. So many teams are in the hunt. It says I'm not in the hunt for Tyler Linderbaum. How much money am I going to have to pay this man? Pay this man his money. How much money do I got to pay? What do I got to do? What do I got to do? I got to do something to pay this man his money. How much do I got to pay? 12 million, 13 million, 15 million is my mark here. Are we finally in the hunt for Linderbaum? We are in the hunt. We're number 2 behind the Chargers. That's probably going to be all the money that I spend, though. I don't want to go even crazier than what we already just did. Because to be fair, we probably shouldn't be doing what we're doing, but it's fun. And I want to do it, so we're going to do it. And there's really not anybody else in this free agency class that I want to pay. Everybody's kind of just old and not very good. We could probably get better guys in the draft. Although Cordell Flott is an interesting one, but I don't really want to overpay for a guy that's not interested. Blankenship's cool. But we don't need a free safety. We need a strong safety. Jaquan Brisker. Hardly know her. I think we'll stay with the guys that we have right now. Don't want to go too crazy. Got to save a little bit of money. So hopefully we get these guys. Yes, we got Aiden Hutchinson, but we don't get Tyler Linderbaum. He chooses the Rams. Maybe that's for the best. Maybe that's for the best. But we got Hutch. Oh, that's huge. That's huge. We got Aiden Hutchinson, man. We figured out that weakness on the defensive side of the football. We replaced Isaiah Foskey with one of the best edge rushers in the league. Jesus Christ, this is a good defensive line. Sweet baby mama. This is awesome. Okay, so now we just got to work on the linebacking core. Oh, Howden, I didn't even notice, went up to star dev. Let's go, Howden. I'm appreciative of that. That's huge. We're already looking a lot better than we were, and we still haven't even gone that crazy into the rebuild. Yeah, we're still in year number 1, the offseason of year number 1. So let's get moving here. We're going to save the rest of our money. It is probably for the best that we didn't get Linderbaum. We get to save that extra bit of money for possible re-signings in the years to come. Who knows? We've got our private... Najee Harris signed with the Cardinals. We got our private workouts. A top 5 talent for Perry Grimes. Oh, okay. Tickle my pickle, baby. That's pretty nice. I like that a lot. We could use... What do we need? I mean, we could use a quarterback, obviously. This guy, Shaquille Cumberland, is a round 1 to 2. A lot of undrafted potential here. So I'm not going to take Cumberland in the early first round, that's for sure. We could definitely use a wide receiver, and Rodney Rigby sucks. Really? He had to be bad? That's kind of annoying. What about Zachary Singer? We'll scout him, because I could definitely use another wide receiver. Another tight end would always be fun. Another offensive lineman is always... You can never have too many offensive linemen. I always talk about that. You can really never have enough offensive linemen. I'm going to go for the center down here, Witherspoon. And then, ooh, the right guard position is not very good at all. Neither is the right tackle position. I'm very, very interested in Perry Grimes. We'll take a look at him in a second. But what about D tackle? We could always use another D tackle. Sam linebacker, there's not a ton of value. And then there's a round 2 to 3 guy, Perry Crawford. Okay, so the linebacking class is not that good this year. Very interesting. There's a couple really good safeties with awareness. Okay. Very interesting. There's also a pursuit guy, Ben Dickerson. We don't need a safety though because I like Dowd or what's his face? Our strong safety, whoever he is. I'm already blanking on his name. You know who I'm talking about. I think I'm going to go with Jared Weiner. So those will be my 3 guys. But before we do that, let's go back and look at the one guy that I was talking about. So that's not the right thing. Let's go and look at that one guy. Where is he at? What position was it again? Was it wide receiver? No, it wasn't wide receiver. It was... What was it? Oh, it was this guy, Perry Grimes. That's right. So let's take a look at him. He's a 6'5" speed rusher out of Mississippi State. He's got good speed. 4.7's pretty okay for an edge rusher. A finesse moves, A play rec. He looks pretty solid. I'm curious to see where he's projected to go in the mock draft. So let's get to that mock draft and find out. Let's answer those questions right away. Why wait? All right, let's go to the mock draft. Mock number 5. Perry Grimes is going 3 overall to the Commanders. Interesting. They have us picking at 5. Taking a quarterback, Seth Quincy, which I don't really know, especially not an Alabama quarterback. You kidding me? I don't think I want to take Seth Quincy. I kind of want to ride it out with Spencer Rattler. I think that could be a fun storyline. Trading up to get Perry Grimes feels not like the right move because we don't necessarily need edge rusher. We more so need a linebacker, not a rusher. Travis is looking for the Jaguars to upgrade their pass rush. I don't know why he would care about that, but whatever. He's a team player, I guess. We don't need edge. We have Hutchinson. We have Chase Young. We need Sam linebacker and Will linebacker. So I don't know what we do at 5. Let's just play it out, see what happens. Maybe we trade down, maybe we don't. I don't know. All right, number 1 pick in the draft is the New York Giants. Could be a very real thing next year. And they take Quentin Hurst, the D tackle. The Dolphins have pick 2. They take somebody, D tackle Sharif Haskins. The Commanders grab Perry Grimes. I could have traded up for him, but we just don't need an edge rusher. Especially with the addition of, if we didn't have Hutchinson, if we would have missed on him, I would have probably traded up for him. So now we're here. No quarterbacks have gotten taken, which would probably never happen in modern football. Do we trade down? I can't take Seth Quincy, and I'm not going to take Shaquille Cumberland. At least not right now. Maybe in the second round I'd take Shaquille Cumberland if he's still available. Zachary Singer we scouted. He ends up being around 1 to 2 true talent. He's got good jumping, elite jumping. 4.3 at his pro day. He looks like a really good receiver, but is he worth the number 5 pick in the draft? I feel like that's a little bit of a reach if we go and get him at number 5. So maybe what we should do is trade down. That might be the smart thing to do. If we trade down, we can get more assets and still maybe come away with a good player. So I still obviously want to be in the first round. So if we trade down, there's not very many options, is there? If we trade down to number 12 with the Cleveland Browns, that might still put us in range for that wide receiver. 13 might also do that. With the Raiders. Raider pick might not be that bad. We'd obviously get first round picks. We could get 2 first round picks in the next couple years for the Falcons, but I want to stay in the first round. That's the whole point. We could stay in the first round and get a first round pick from Philadelphia, but those picks are kind of meaningless because the Eagles are always going to be good. I kind of like this Raider pick. We get 13. We get a 3rd round pick next year. I think I'm going to do that. We move down to 13. It's not that far of a drop. It still puts us in decent range to grab a wide receiver if that's where we want to go. They took the quarterback, Seth Quincy, so they're done already with Geno. They don't want to have him anymore. A D tackle and a D tackle. Man, the generated draft classes, it seems like, is heavy on the D tackles in Madden 26. Amari Beckham goes, another D tackle. Another D tackle. Good God. It can't be that good of a D tackle class. You guys got to be reaching at some point. And we still make it available for the receiver to be picked. And Cumberland's still available. I think I'm going to grab Zachary Singer. He's 6'5". He's got really good speed, 4.3 at his pro day. And he's got really good route running. Or not really good route running, but he's got good enough route running. Spec catch is an A. Catching traffic's an A. I think I'm going to take him. 6'5", physical wide receiver. Probably should be fairly good. And we didn't take him at 5. We took him at 13. He's number 33 in true value. He does have hidden dev. 95 jumping is kind of crazy. He's a good player. Maybe we reached slightly for him, even at 13. But I'm okay with taking him because he has hidden dev. If he didn't have hidden dev, I'd be a little bit more upset. But him having hidden dev makes the pick feel a little bit better. Big B still available. The quarterback did get grabbed, which is not surprising. Keelan McKinney. Looks like he's a good pass block tackle. He probably could be flexible enough to move into guard. But I'd rather just take a guard, I think, if I'm going to do that. The quarterbacks, just not good this year. Not going to take a running back. We already got a receiver. Tight end, there's this guy right here, Dorian Hicks. 6'3". Oh my God. Unbelievable athlete. I don't think I can pass up on Dorian Hicks. Seems weird to take a tight end with Kyle Pitts on the roster, but that guy seems too good to pass up. He's number 22 in true value. He has normal dev. He looks like a phenomenal athlete at tight end, but normal dev's kind of crazy. That seems a little bit cheap. But thankfully we have an extra second round pick, so we didn't miss too hard by reaching on a tight end. There is a strong safety, Ben Dickerson, who looks like a fairly good athlete. A injury, A pursuit, B block shed. How big is he? He's 6'2", 196. I think that's a little too small to move him to linebacker, but not a bad option. Troy Nash, also a good athlete, but he's not as technically sound as the strong safety is. Speaking of, let's just go to linebacker and see what we're working with here. So we got all undrafted guys left at the Will spot. At the Sam spot, a couple of day 3 guys. Looks like we're going to have to wait till next season to upgrade Pete Werner, but that's not the end of the world. Pete Werner is a fine player. What about Shaq Riley? 6'3", elite jumping. For linebackers, kind of cool. B pursuit, B play rec, B block shed, B zone. I'm kind of in on Shaq Riley, but he's also projected round 3 to 4. He might be there in the 3rd round, so maybe we could hold off on him. At corner, there's not really anybody. There's a Buckeye, DeMarcus Priestley, with marginal speed at corner. It's just diabolical. I'm very interested in a strong safety here. Luke Crawford's not the best athlete, but he is decent, technically. The Dickerson dude looked like the best. Ben Dickerson, he's a good athlete, and he's got injury, pursuit, block shed. I'm intrigued by him. I don't know where I want to go with this other 2nd round pick. I really don't. Maybe we take a guard or something? Is there any guards available? Probably not. There's this guy, Alejandro Alvarez, who's a very good athlete for a center. I'll take you. Why not? I don't have any other options. He's ranked number 94. Hidden dev. He's probably going to be fairly low overall, but I didn't have any other options. I didn't know where else to go. We go to the 3rd round. Is that Ben Dickerson got taken? I probably would have grabbed him if he was here. Is that other guy available? Shaq Riley is still available. Round 3 to 4. He looks like a fairly good athlete for a linebacker. I'm going to grab him. It's not as much of a reach in the 3rd round as it was in the 2nd round. And he's got normal dev. But he looks like he's fast, decently enough. All right. Nothing too crazy. I just don't think this draft was very good on defense. At least from what I'm seeing here. Maybe I'm missing some people, but I don't think this draft was amazing. Now that we're in the 4th round, I think we just go by who's the best athlete. What kind of speed are we working with here? We've got one guy with elite speed. It is a D tackle. Okay. DJ Holcomb has elite speed for a D tackle. Jonathan Jenkins has great speed and elite acceleration at wide receiver. 5'9" out of Rice. You know what? Give me the D tackle with elite speed. That intrigues me enough to take him. He's 101 in true value. We took him at 101. He's got in dev. DJ Holcomb, welcome aboard. And that's probably going to be all of my drafting that I do for this first one. We'll sim out. I feel like we did okay. Not anything too spectacular here in year number 1. We traded out of 5 and got number 13 and took somebody that could be pretty good. 75 overall for Zachary Singer. Nothing too spectacular, but he's the number 3 receiver on the team anyway, behind Olave and Zay Flowers. We also got Dorian Hicks, who's a 75. 71 for Alvarez, 72 for Shaq Riley, 71 for Holcomb. So all the guys that I picked are potentially future starters, which I think is okay. That's pretty solid. I'll take that. They also got a wide receiver, Dave Taylor, who's got 95 speed, 97 excel. Hello. Does he have a dev trait? That's kind of crazy. No, he doesn't have a dev trait. He's literally just a burner. He's literally just a track star. He's going to run past you, but he can't run routes to save his life. He can barely catch a football. He's just fast. That's all he is. Which, I mean, sometimes that can be useful. Best players in the class. Ooh, oh my God, this is a garbage draft class. A bunch of 77s and the highest is a 78. I thought this draft class looked pretty cheeks. And it was confirmed right there. Good God. I feel like we got the best players we could out of that draft class because that was trash. Hopefully this next season we get lucky with a decent auto-generated draft class. We don't have to worry about being absolute garbage like that was. Let's generate the best lineup. And headed in year number 2, the offensive line looks pretty good. We've got Kyle Pitts and Dorian Hicks. We've got Zay Flowers, Chris Olave, Zachary Singer, Bub Means, Caleb Johnson's going into year number 2. The offense is promising. And then on defense, we bring in Hutchinson. Sager is a superstar dev now. The corners look very solid. This team is a potentially decent team this year. I would be shocked if we won like the same amount of games, like 4, 5, 6 games. I'd be shocked if that was where we were. I kind of think that we're going to be a 7, 8 win, 9 win team next year. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It all really depends on the playbook / how Spencer Rattler performs, because he's got enough pieces around him now with Kyle Pitts, Flowers, Olave, Caleb Johnson. He's got enough weapons around him to make a solid offense. It's just a matter of, is the playbook going to be beneficial? And it is a Kellen Moore designed playbook, and Kellen Moore, former quarterback, former very high-powered quarterback at Boise State, likes to run a lot of passing style offenses. Makes sense, obviously. So maybe that offense can simulate pretty well in Madden. But we've got season number 2 about to be underway. I am going to change my scouts because their linebacker tight end is our national scout. I don't really want that. So we're going to change it to... I got to fire you first. We're going to change it to... Actually, you know what? Hold on. Before we do that, we have 377 staff points. Or franchise points. I should probably purchase some sort of upgrades. They did get rid... I found this out in the first episode of my 10-year rebuild with the Patriots. They got rid of my cheese method, which is to buy all of the staff tree things, player personnel side, to trade up and make it easier to trade for draft picks. So that's a different technique now that I can't use anymore in rebuilds, which is very annoying. I don't like that. Why'd they do that? They hate me. But we should probably upgrade this because we have 15 points. So now we earn 1.5 coach XP. Player development. QB training is... Oh, we got to get this maxed. Get this all the way up. There we go. We got diamond tier QB training. So he gets times 20% or increased by 20% on his development, the QB development. So Spencer Rattler hopefully will dominate now. But this is where we need to go here. Scouting. We need to get tier scouts. Let's buy this. So hire 2 tier 2 scouts. I don't want to hire the tier 2 scouts. Can I hire 3 tier? I thought that was a thing. You could hire 3 tier scouts. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Scouts honor. Purchase this one. Beautiful. Let's just buy this all the way to the max. Oops, that's not the one I wanted to buy. I wanted to buy this one. So now we can hire 4 tier 3 scouts and 4 tier 2 scouts. Let's see. What's this? Let's do this one. So we get a 5% reduction rate on letter range unlocks. That's kind of cool. We'll also buy this one. And that's really all the points that we can. I kind of messed up and bought too many of the Scout Squad ones. But now that we have that bought, let's go back to our scouts. And now I should be able to buy a bunch of 2-star and 3-star scouts. Is that what I'm getting at here? So let's go corner and Mike linebacker is not bad, but I need more so. I need more so. I don't know. I definitely want a 3-star, obviously. I'll go corner and Mike. So we hire them. Safety wide receiver, cornerback wide receiver, edge D tackle wouldn't be bad. Unable to hire scout. Each scout has a tier from 1 to 3. When replacing a scout, you must replace them with. But I did the thing. Is that not what that means? Maybe I'm confused. So we have to hire a 2-star scout. I'm very much confused. I thought that meant we could just hire a bunch of 3-star scouts because I bought that thing. Maybe I read it wrong or misunderstood it. It's probably better. More likely. So we hire a 2-star scout. Okay. Whatever. I don't care. As long as we have a 3-star scout that I like. That's probably for the best. So we're going to simulate this year. I probably won't stop it at the midseason mark like I did this first season. Just kind of, I wanted to go over some of the initial contracts and all that kind of stuff. So I think we'll just simulate to the end of year number 2. Hopefully we're better than we were last year, but I don't want to be too good in case we ruin a draft pick. But then also, if we're too good, then maybe we just win the Super Bowl and the rebuild's over. I don't know. I'm not really sure where I want to be. I'm kind of in a limbo period of where I want to be. I guess we'll just simulate and find out. All right, I wanted to bring you guys back 1 week before the season is over. We've got 6 wins already, so we're kind of middling around that same area that we were last season. But the reason I brought you back a week early is because player negotiations, new contract for Chris Olave. And I wanted you guys to see the potential re-sign of our number 1 wide receiver. It's going to take a lot of our money. We didn't have that much this year. We had around $60 million. I re-signed a couple other guys before I brought you back. But we don't have that much money left. We do get Chris Olave back for an okay amount of money. It's still pretty pricey, but these are the rest of the guys that we have to choose whether or not to bring back. I did offer Jordan Howden, but he declined it, so we'll get him back in the offseason. Fuaga will accept his option, obviously. Let's finish out this regular season here. At least we got Olave back, but we're not going to be able to spend as much money in the offseason as we did the first year when we got Aiden Hutchinson. We do have around 60 million, so it flips back, but we finished 6-11 this year, just not good enough. And I think at this point, it either comes down to Spencer Rattler's not the guy. DJ Holcomb went up 6 skill points. I just noticed that. Good God. We got a killer. But it's either going to be Spencer Rattler's not good enough or the playbook's not good enough. And I'll give Spencer Rattler the benefit of the doubt. It could be the playbook. 3,200 yards, 24 touchdowns, 13 picks. That's just not very amazing. Caleb Johnson goes over 1,000, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. Very good. 4.2 per carry. That's pretty solid. 993 and 8 touchdowns for Olave, so nobody goes over 1,000. Olave gets, Flowers gets 700 with 7 touchdowns. Singer had 703 and 5. I think I'm going to go to the Eagles playbook for season number 3. I kind of want to test it out. I usually go Chiefs because they're always good, but I don't know if they're going to be good this year. I've seen some other videos where this Chiefs playbook doesn't simulate very well, so I might want to go Eagle playbook. See how that plays out. 114 tackles for Pete Warner. Maybe he'll go up to star. That'd be pretty sick. Edgerrin Cooper had a monster season. Howden had a good year. McKinstry had a good year. Tackle for loss leader is Chase Young with 14. 10 for Cooper. Sack leader is Hutchinson with 8. No surprise. Cooper had 8. Or 6, I mean. 5 for Holcomb. This man's a beast. What a guy. what a monster. 6 skill points. Are you crazy? Emerson had led the team with 3 interceptions, 2 for Cooper, Werner, and Riley, 1 for Kool-Aid. But I think for season 3, we might go to Eagle Playbook because Eagle Playbook does simulate really well consistently. So that might be our best chance to turn this team around the best way possible. But I am curious about potential dev trade upgrades. It's the Chiefs and the Eagles. I was just talking about how the Chiefs don't usually simulate very well in Madden 26, at least that's what I saw, but they're in the Super Bowl now. Did I say Eagles, Chiefs, and Cardinals is what I meant? So Rattler's up 3. So he's a 76 overall, playing up to a 79. The offense is looking pretty good. Caleb Johnson might be a franchise beast in Madden 26. You might want to keep an eye out on him. Edgerrin Cooper is superstar dev. Werner does not go up to star. No other developments upgrades. Holcomb wasn't revealed. He's probably just going to have star, but I'm surprised he wasn't even revealed. All right. So we do get Edgerrin Cooper, which is pretty sick. And we will find out who's going to win the Super Bowl. Is it going to be the Chiefs or the Cardinals? Kind of a weird matchup. It'll be the Chiefs. No surprise there. Chiefs are good. But we get some upgrades for some of our practice squad players. That's always nice. Season recap. Here we go. Patrick Mahomes is the MVP. Joe Burrow is the MVP of the league and Offensive Player of the Year. Micah Parsons wins Defensive Player of the Year again. Jacob Hill, wide receiver for the Dolphins, is Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Quentin Hurst is the D tackle for the Giants, who won the Defensive Rookie of the Year. All right, well, let's get to re-signing because we got to get back Howden. That's, I think, our only guy other than doing the tag on or the option on Fuaga. So let's do that. Get him back. And then Jordan Howden, I would like to bring back. He rejected my $3 million and $3 million. So what about if I give him 3.5 and 3.5? He's going to say free agency's better for him in the long run. He's only a 77, so it's not the end of the world. I can't pay him $19 million on a franchise tag. I could probably find somebody better. We might have to trade him. Might have to trade him. Maybe we can toss him and Kendre Miller in a deal together and bring in somebody decent. Quan Martin is the only guy that is offered in a trade. Is there any strong safety we could grab? Jordan Hancock is available. I am a fan of Jordan Hancock. There's Ben Dickerson. He's like the 4th overall pick or something like that. 3rd overall pick. Jaquan Brisker signed with the Eagles. That's great. Jair Brown, Tyler Nubin, Jordan Battle, Tony Adams, Branch, McKinney. Xavier McKinney's a 95. Okay. Luke Crawford and Darnell Savage, Kyle Duggar and Marte Mapu, Jeremy Chin. There's Kyle Hamilton, but he's got a new contract, so he's not going to be in free agency. I kind of like the Jordan Hancock move. I know it's kind of an underwhelming one, but he's not going to be that hard to get. He's a 73 with normal dev. We can always replace him if we have to, but I'd be okay with him being the starter if he had to. So we could probably do that. They'd probably accept this straight up. So if I try to ask for a draft pick, like a 2nd round pick, they might accept that. No, they don't. Okay, never mind. Would they not accept it straight up? Oh, they would. It's just a 2nd round pick. Okay, that's my bad. A 2nd round pick just was too much for them. So that's on me. Let's go to free agency. We do get a possible starting strong safety, but we can always look to upgrade him. But for right now, he could be our starter. Or somebody we draft. Trent McDuffelbag. Trent McDuffie's available. Tyler Smith is also available, and he wants to be here. I like guys that want to be here. What's the strong safety spot look like? It is Quentin Lake, Sidney Brown. Okay, so it's nobody that's that much better than what we have. I know that Jordan Hancock's only like a 73, but either we can draft somebody or just have him start. It's not that big of a deal. But the Trent McDuffie / Tyler Smith offers are kind of interesting. I mean, Trent McDuffie is amazing. I would love to get Trent McDuffie. He's an X Factor as well, if you can see on his picture there. 16 offers. He wants $28 million per year. Very expensive, very pricey. What about if I go in and talk to him? What's that leave us with? About $23 million. Bringing in a 97 overall corner doesn't seem like it's that smart of an idea. But bringing in a 90 overall guard seems like a smart idea. We can always find a spot for him. And we might even be able to trade Skoronski. Maybe for a strong safety. But we're in the lead for Tyler Smith. That's probably going to be the only move that I make. Unless there's a decent, like, Sam linebacker. Santiago Feliz. Okay. Not many Sam linebackers available. Mike linebackers are trash. Will linebackers are also kind of trash. It's really just McDuffie. Anthony Richardson makes it to free agency. That's insane. Wow. I'm not going to offer him a deal. Nobody's even offered him. I kind of want to offer him a deal. He's 25. A 3-year deal seems disgusting. That's way too much money for Anthony Richardson. That's way too much money. I'm not in the market of offering him that much money. For the memes, I'd offer him a tiny little contract. If he doesn't want to accept it, he doesn't want to accept it. But his tag has become bridge quarterback. He didn't get picked up by the Colts, so that's already not a good sign. He's got to know his worth, and his worth is not good. He's even younger than Rattler is, which is kind of funny. But if he wants to play football and prove himself, he'll sign this tiny little deal and be good to go. We'll try it out. If he doesn't want to sign it, then he doesn't want to play football, and that's his prerogative. He can go sit on the unemployment line. But we'll try it out. We do get Tyler Smith, which is a huge move. And what about Anthony Richardson? He has not chosen in the 3 evaluation periods. All right, that's fine by me. If you want to go be unemployed, fine by me. We've got a quarterback. I was being nice, offering you a contract. But if you don't want to accept it, stay unemployed then. Fine by me. We bring in a 90 overall guard. We can either trade Skoronski or Cesar Ruiz. Either one of them is decent to trade. Probably Skoronski, since Cesar is the higher overall, but I don't know. The defense is coming together. Defense is coming together. That's going to be all the points all the money that I spend. We'll see if Richardson ends up signing it. At this point, I kind of don't want him to sign because now I'm mad at him for not choosing to sign with me already. If you don't want to be a starting quarterback in this league, then don't. I'm not begging you to come to my team. I was giving you a generous offer. $2.5 million signing bonus and salary. You're going to get paid $5 million to have a job? And you're going to say no to that? Fine. Whatever you want to do, dog. Whatever you want to do. Did he end up signing a team? The Raiders got McDuffie. Richardson ended up not signing with a team. Wow. His expected value was $126 million total? Are you serious? Are you smoking on the crack? Whatever, dog. Don't come play for me if you're looking for that much money. I was just kind of being generous, giving you a nice little offer to feed your family. But you're asking for God and Jesus, and I'm not willing to give you either. There is a top 5 corner in Daryl Ringer, which is very interesting. Seems like this could be a decent corner class. How's the Sam linebacker position looking? A round 1 to 2 guy in Taylor Herrera, but it's not deep at all at Sam linebacker. What about Will linebacker? We might as well scout these 2 guys just to figure it out because we do need to replace Pete Werner at some point. I mean, we don't have to, but we probably should. And then at strong safety, we'll look at Brandon Hunter since he's the top guy on the board. Okay. Let's move on to the draft. Year number 2 draft is upon us. I don't even know where we're picking. If we take a look at the mock draft, we have pick number 10. And they wants to take a corner. Okay. I'm fine with the way the mock draft looks right now. Nobody that I absolutely have to have is going ahead of me. All the guys, the corners that I would like to have are going behind me, so that's pretty sick. That is pretty sick. I don't see any of the other guys. There's Taylor Herrera. He's a round 1 to 2 true talent. Not surprising. But let me take a look at that strong safety real quick. He's a day 3. Good God. These 2 guys are true round 2 to 3 talents. He's around 3 to 4. He's around 1 to 2. Okay. So we kind of know where we're going to go. We're probably going to take a corner, and it's probably going to be Daryl Ringer. A true top 5 talent, 5'10". Although this Devin Bush dude's 6'4". Seems kind of crazy. He's a very good athlete, and he looks pretty good. Maybe I want both of them. Elite speed, 4.27 speed for Daryl Ringer. Jesus. Okay. Hello. And he's also got A-man and zone? Oh my God, both these guys look like they're phenomenal players. How do I get them both is the big question. I don't know. Ringer was projected to go right behind me, right? Yeah, he's projected to go the next pick behind me. And then Devin Bishop is going to go the next pick after. So it's going to be a run of corners like it was last year with a run of D tackles. I think Daryl Ringer is going to end up being better, but Devin Bishop being 6'4" and also being fairly fast makes me want to grab him as well. But I'm going to take the Ringer dude. That's who I'm going to grab. I think he's going to end up being better. Him having both a man and zone is kind of insane. So we're just going to hope that the mock draft. I got a hair in my mouth. Gross. We're just going to have to hope that the mock draft is actually true. Like it lives up to what it said it was going to do. We don't have to move up at all. I think it's still there. Yeah. Gross. Sorry. Robbie Richardson, some other D tackles, a bunch of edge rushers going. Then we got another D tackle. Man, Madden 26 auto-generate draft classes. D tackles are crazy. If you need a D tackle in your franchise, you don't have to look very far. There's going to be a bunch. That's what it seems like, at least. But so far, we're looking pretty good. It's following the exact order. And Ringer is still available. So I think we're going to take him. We're going to snipe the Broncos. They're going to be upset. But we're getting probably the best player in the class. Daryl Ringer, welcome aboard. And he is number 1 in the class. 96 speed, 95 excel. And A zone, A man, A catching, B press. He looks like a monster. That's a huge pick. He might be one of the best players I've ever drafted. He looks like an absolute stud. And I'm assuming the Broncos took the guy that I was wanting to take, the 6'4" guy. I'm expecting him to be gone. And he is. No shocker there. Let's figure out where we want to go next. So this Brandon Hunter dude is a day 3 guy. We figured that out. We have a round 1 to 2 guy here at corner. We could take another corner. There's the round 3 to 4 Jackson Watson. No Sam linebackers are any good. Man, the positions that we could use don't seem to be that amazing. Oscar Glover, 6'2" speed rusher with good athletics. A finesse moves, but that's really all he can do. I don't know if he's a second round pick or not. He might be. It might be too much of a risk of. Jeff Sullivan, not as good of an athlete, slightly worse, but he's got a power move. So he's more of a power guy. The other guy's a finesse guy, which makes sense by their archetypes. But is that where I want to go with my second round pick? Do I already want to be taking a flyer on a guy? I don't think I do. I probably should take a guy like this, like Dante Fenner, who is a guaranteed round 1 to 2 true talent. He's got A zone coverage. But I don't need another corner, do we? Because now that we added Ringo, we have Kool-Aid, we have the rookie, the Quincy dude, I forget his name, Quincy Riley, I think. We have... Who's the other guy? We have another corner. I can't remember his name right now, but we have 3 corners and plus Alante Taylor. So I don't think we need another corner, but maybe we do. Especially if there's not any other positions that I want to grab. Like Matthew Radigan, do I want to grab him? He's not the best athlete in the world. He's not even that good technically. Probably not. What about Oscar? Oh, I already looked at Oscar Glover. Dante Easley? I thought it said 5'6". He's 6'6". He looks like he's fairly well rounded, but I don't want to take him. I don't want to miss on anybody, but I'm gonna miss. That's just what I do. Jeff Sullivan. Oh, we already looked at him. He's not that good of an athlete. I don't know where I want to go. I really don't. I don't know where I want this second round pick to be. It could just be that corner. Maybe that's just what I do. Nick Stevenson doesn't look horrible. At least athletically. He doesn't look great skill-wise. But as an athlete, he looks okay. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. Charlie Burton, not a great athlete. A hit power, A block shed, A tackling. How big is he? He's 6 foot 221. Give me Charlie Burton. I don't know much about him. He's number 55 in true value. He's got a hidden dev. All right. Don't hate it. Didn't really have a plan there for second round pick. Don't hate that one at all. Could have taken a corner, but we got a safety. So we took a DB anyway. Hunter's still available. No shocker there. He's trash. The rest of the corners are not great. There's a couple day 3 or round 3 to 4 guys at the bottom. Maybe we pick up one of those. Tad another one. But the Mike linebackers are all kind of bad. Braden Wagner. Ooh, maybe a little diamond in the rough action here. I don't hate a Braden Wagner pick. But maybe I could get him a little bit later. Unless there's nobody else that I want. And then we just probably should grab him. Who's this guy? Joel Dyson. He's a really good pass blocker. Can't run block to save his life. But he's a good pass blocker. And he's undrafted, potentially. Very intriguing. I think I'm just going to take that guy. I don't have any other options. So I'm just going to take Braden Wagner. Maybe he's good. Maybe he's not. I don't know. He's number 62 in true value with hidden dev. He's good. All right. Sick. We'll go to the 4th round. I might grab that right guard or left guard, whatever he was. Oh, no, we go to the 3rd round. We had 2 third-round picks. That's right. Forgot we had 2 third-round picks. Well, I have no idea where I want to go with this. Let's try athletic, speed-wise. There's a couple elite speed guys left. It's a D tackle and a Mike linebacker. There's also this wide receiver available. The Mike linebacker has elite jumping as well. 4.4 speed at linebacker is kind of crazy. I'm going to take Scott Powell. Number 61 in true value, hidden dev. Okay, now we're finding the gems. That D tackle was projected around 2 to 3. He was probably trash. That's why he's still on the board in the 3rd round. We go to the 4th round. I'll probably just take that guard who was undrafted, and then I'll sim out of the rest because I don't really have any other plans for anybody else. So let me find that guard. Where was he at? Here he is. Joel Dyson. Let's grab him. Maybe he's good. He's number 53 in true value. He's got hidden dev. I feel like we killed this draft. I think we did pretty well. I'm happy with that. Let's sim out of this and go to year number 3 because I want to see if the Eagle playbook can really help this team out. And maybe it is a Spencer Rattler problem, but we need to figure that out. We need to actually know if it is a Spencer Rattler problem. So let's get it figured out. We got 82 for Darryl Ringer. Yeah, I knew he was going to be an absolute beast. 74 for Charlie Burton, 73 for Braden Wagner, 73 for Scott Powell, 74 for Joel Dyson. The rest of the guys, the auto-generated, or the CPU took. And they did take a corner, Keontae Gilbert, who's got decent speed, and 70 overall. So he'll probably play a little bit. The best player in the class we got was Dale Ringer. Juan Pearson was a guard. He was 81 overall. Tito Castaneda, 80 overall. And then Devin Bishop, who the Broncos did end up taking at 11, is a 79. So we definitely got the better of the two, which I kind of knew was going to be the case. But I wouldn't have been mad at Devin Bishop either. Although I probably would have been if we missed out on Ringer and took Bishop ahead of him. But if I would have got both of them, I would have been super happy. But this was a better class. At least there were some 80s in this class. That first class was just disgusting. No 79. There was like 179 overall player in that entire class. Gross. Okay, year number 3 team. Let's take a look at it. This is the make or break year for Spencer Rattler. We've got weapons around him. Caleb Johnson's developing like crazy. Offensive line's as good as it's been. Defensively, he's got weapons. Ringer's the highest overall corner on the team now as a rookie. That's crazy. I wonder if I could turn Alontae Taylor into a safety. Does he have the skill set to be a safety? 6'1", 199. Not really. He's fast. No, his hit power's not great. No. We'll just keep him. We'll keep him. Okay. I don't want to get too crazy. I don't want to get too crazy. But let's change the playbooks. Let's change the playbooks and figure out what we're going to be doing here. So, is the zone run the best option? I think it is. The 4-6 defense is good, but Kellen Moore's offense is no more. We're going with Philly. If I could find it. There it is. Phillies offense. And should we go Kellen Moore defense? I don't really hate the defense. It's getting us enough tackles. Sacks are good. Interceptions are fine. Let's keep the Kellen Moore defense for now. If it ends up not helping us out, then we'll change it. But we'll keep that. Keep the Kellen Moore defense. Just change the offensive playbook. Maybe that can help us out a little bit. I'm really hoping it can, because this team is reaching that point where it's good enough to make the playoffs, and the playbook was holding us back, I think. Maybe it is Spencer Rattler. Maybe the playbook wasn't holding us back. Maybe it is Rattler that's holding us back. I don't know. We got to find that out. That's why we switched. We're an 85 overall team with an 88 offense. This is Rattler's best chance. The young guys are really growing like weeds. We will auto-generate the rookies, and we will simulate year number 3 of the Saints rebuild and see if we really do have a Spencer Rattler problem. All right, I'm bringing you guys back another week early, this time in week 17, because I opened up the player negotiations, and there are some heavy hitters in this negotiation period. We need to bring everybody here back. Thankfully, as you can see in the bottom left, we have a good amount of money to do so. So let's start with Edgerrin Cooper here. We traded for him at the very beginning of the rebuild. Gotta bring him back. He's too good. He's now a superstar dev because he got that last offseason. We gotta pay him a good amount of money to come back and play for us, and he's gonna do that. Welcome back, Edgerrin. We also want to bring back Zay Flowers. Also made the move for him at the very beginning of this video. He is very good, and he deserves very much money. So we're going to give him very much money. Welcome aboard. We also want Kool-Aid, even though he hasn't really developed as much as I would have preferred him to. He's still a solid corner, and he's going to come back. We also want Brian Bresee back. So we're going to offer him a fat contract. Big, thick contract. And he's coming back. Welcome aboard, Brian Bresee. We also have Peter Skoronski, Chase Young. I will offer Skoronski. We could trade. I wouldn't be opposed to trading Skoronski, especially since we have a decent offensive line now with Tyler Smith. Eric McCoy we want back. He's our starting center probably for the rest of this rebuild. Hopefully for the rest of this rebuild. Hopefully it doesn't go that much longer. He's coming back, though. Thankfully, we had all this money when it came up to this time period, because we would have been in trouble if not. We want Cesar Ruiz back because we've chosen him over Skoronski, so let's offer him a contract, and he's going to stay around. And I did see that Mr. Rattler has a new contract, or wants a new contract. Kelvin Banks needs his exception, or his option. We'll pay that, don't worry. Pete Werner, we've been looking to trade this, or looking to move on from this entire time. Upgrade, I guess. Spencer Rattler's contract is up. He's off his rookie deal. He wants to be paid. I don't know if he's worth paying, because if you take a look at our record, we're 5-10 again. So I don't know. We might have a Spencer Rattler problem. I did scout 3 quarterbacks, although we didn't find out the talent of, or the true talent of the 2 other quarterbacks. I scouted these guys right here, Brooks and Kennedy, but we didn't find him out. That's not good. Although Jonathan Kennedy, 6'5". The speed and stuff, that stuff doesn't really matter to me when it comes to simulation. It more matters how good he is skill-wise, attribute-wise, because that's what's going to simulate. Terry Carr, excuse me, also looks fairly good. So I think the quarterback, if we were going to draft a quarterback this draft, it'd be either Carr or Kennedy. Kennedy. That's who we would draft, probably. But we got to figure out where we're going to be picking. Spencer Rattler is a 78 overall. I don't know if he's the guy. If he gets star dev after the season, then I can consider it. And maybe the Eagle playbook was the wrong decision. Maybe that wasn't the playbook that best fits Rattler's abilities. That could be true. But also, we should just be good enough to win games, regardless of the playbook. We do end the season with 2 extra wins. That kind of hurts our draft positioning. I don't know. We're getting good upgrades. We've drafted some really good players. We're getting some good upgrades. We're just not better. It's annoying. So Rattler puts up 3,500 yards, 28 touchdowns, 13 picks. He's improving. 1,000 yards for Caleb Johnson, 9 touchdowns. 996 for Zachary Singer, which is, he must be in the slot because I thought Olave or Flowers would be the one dominating. But Zachary Singer, the second-year man out of Florida State, gets the most yards and touchdowns. Defensively, 108 tackles for Cooper. Hancock had a big year, it looks like. Or a decent year. Hutchinson with 18 tackles for loss. Young with 13. Holcomb, love him. He's got 12 tackles for loss and 9 sacks. Hutchinson had 12. We drafted a stud, didn't we? 6.5 for Brissy, 6 for Chase Young. Chase Young with a breakout year, maybe. 3 interceptions for Emerson, 2 for Cooper, 1 for a bunch of other people. Singer had 1, the rookie. We might have drafted an all-time type of guy in DJ Holcomb. He's, ever since we drafted him, the 2 seasons he's been in the league, he's been unreal. We might have got ourselves a freak. Dare I say generational? I don't know. Bengals and Niners in the Super Bowl. Okay. This is 1994. Let's go to the lineup screen to see if we have any depth trade upgrades. Nothing for Spencer Rattler, which I was kind of hoping, but I knew it probably wasn't going to happen. Defensively, Holcomb's an 85 now, up to an 87. Singer's a superstar dev player. Jordan Hancock goes up to star. Galaxy Brain. Wagner's probably going to pass Pete Werner this year. He might even just pass him now because Werner's going to leave in the draft anyway, or in the free agency. We're not going to re-sign him, so he's just going to leave. But we've got Powell, who's a decent will linebacker. We've got Stutzman, who's actually starting to grow a little bit. The team's coming together. We just need the quarterback to figure it out. We just need Rattler to either be good or be bad. I don't know which one. I just wanted to make a decision so we can figure out if we got to move on from him or not. I don't know. He's kind of ticking me off a little bit. Bengals get their championship. So Joe Burrow brings a championship to the city of Cincinnati. Dare I say that's as important as LeBron bringing a championship to Cleveland? I mean, Cincinnati's been in desperation mode for a championship for years. They almost got one a few years ago with Burrow, but they lost to the Rams, and now they finally get it. Burrow gets MVP. Bryce Young is the MVP of the league. Gabe Loud, wide receiver for the Panthers, is your offensive player of the year. Jalen Walker is the defensive player. So he went from winning the defensive rookie of the year to now winning the defensive player of the year. Gabe Loud also wins offensive rookie of the year, and Mike Cox, excuse me? He wins defensive tackle of the year, or defensive tackle of the year, defensive rookie of the year as a D tackle. We've got the staff week that we can skip by. We got to trade Skoronski, and maybe we can package Pete Werner in there to maybe get a little bit more value. But we'll accept the option on Kelvin Banks. That's pretty obvious. Skoronski, we got to figure out what we got to do with Rattler. We're going to have to make a decision. I don't know if I know what that decision is. All right, so let's go to Skoronski. Let's trade him and package him with, not Braden Wagner, with, there he is, Pete Werner. Together, they can bring us Marvin Mims, Dylan Sampson, Will Johnson, Trayvon Diggs, Kyle Williams. Okay, they can get us, and Daniil Hunter. I kind of like the Will Johnson deal. Although, do we need another corner? Are we desperate for another corner? He's an 83. He'd be our second highest overall behind Ringer. I wouldn't hate that. We could then probably trade Martin Emerson, even though I do like Martin Emerson. We could probably move on from Emerson. And maybe get somebody else. I'm going to bring in Will Johnson. That's a pretty solid move. I like that. So he becomes our second highest overall player. That puts Emerson out the door for somebody. Which maybe it's Gabe Singer, offensive guard, or Brandon Pitts, running back. The Rams really want to get rid of Omar Spates. Let's see. Brandon Pitts as a backup running back's not the bad idea, but I kind of want to just go Gabe Singer. Let's just do that. Let's just go Gabe Singer because it's more offensive line depth, and that's never a bad thing. So, boom. Martin Emerson Jr. out the door, even though I do like him. I'm a big Martin Emerson guy. But we bring in some more depth on the offensive line. Singer actually starts over Cesar Ruiz now. That's a very expensive backup now that we just re-signed him. Okay. Very cool. Will Johnson becomes our second highest overall corner. Defense looks pretty crazy. Defense is ready to win a championship. Is the offense? I hope so. Let's move to free agency. Maybe there's a quarterback that makes it to free agency. Who knows? We have $33 million as free agency opens. Jahmyr Gibbs, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. Oh my God. Zach Sealer, Jack Campbell, Nolan Smith, Kenny Clark. Okay, this is quite the Terrion Arnold. Oh my God. This is a crazy free agency class. And there's Spencer Rattler. Nobody's offering him, neither Joe Milton. Do we just bring him back? I don't know. Joe Milton might be more funny, though. And he's a little bit cheaper than Rattler would be. We could just rock with the 28-year-old Tyler Shuck. But I think Joe Milton might be more funny. Let's do Joe Milton instead of Spencer Rattler. Jahmyr Gibbs is here. We don't have the money to pay him. He doesn't want to be here anyway, which means we'd have to pay him an exorbitant amount of money. At wide receiver, Dontavian Wicks is interesting. Ricky Pearsall's here with no offers. Jordan Whittington's available. He really wants to be here. I wouldn't hate a Jordan Whittington type of player on this team, just to give a little bit more depth to the wide receiver room. Nothing too crazy. I wouldn't hate that. And then tight end, I think we're good with. Tackle, we're fine. Offensive line in general, we're pretty good on. Edge, Nolan Smith, Chop Robinson, Zaven Collins. D tackle, I think we're okay with. Nobody here. Nobody here either. Jack Campbell would be cool, but we just don't have the money to offer him. Zach Bond's old now. I mean, one of these corners would be insane. The fact that Cooper DeJean and Terrion Arnold don't have any offers seems a little crazy. I'd be willing to give them a contract. I wouldn't be willing to give them anything insane because they're not getting offers. They're probably going to get offers if we do the evaluation thing. Teams are going to come in for them. But if we show interest early, maybe they'll take that as a sign of respect. I'd be willing to give Cooper DeJean that money. See what happens. So our targeted players are Cooper DeJean, Jordan Whittington, Joe Milton. We're not going to get Cooper. And now teams are in on him. I assume that was going to be the case. But we do get Whittington and Joe Milton. I'm okay with those two deals. We have our new quarterback, at least for this season. Cooper DeJean picked the Patriots. Let's go, baby. That's sick. Wish he would have got drafted by the Patriots. That would have been also pretty sick. All right, Joe Milton's our new quarterback, which means we probably can't do Eagle playbook because that doesn't really fit Joe Milton's style at all. We probably need to do like Charger playbook or I don't know who's a playbook that just absolutely throws the ball, like maybe the Bengal playbook. We need to do something where the quarterback just heaves it because that's what Joe Milton does. He just be chucking. He be chucking with no care where that ball is actually going to land. There could be there might be some decent offensive tackles in this class for the first time in a while, actually. Let's scout Damian Bright. That might be a bright idea. Let's scout possible Max Staley. And then we will probably move the top 5 player. There's a couple edge guys that could be solid. This guy's top 5. This guy's around 1. There could be some D tackles that are nice. A man coverage, B zone coverage. Phil Ham could be decent. He's got A power moves and block shed. That's pretty interesting. Let's scout Phil Ham. Let's go ham on Phil. And we will move to the draft. We're not going to be picking anywhere that great because we won 7 games. But I would like to see how those guys actually are. That's the wrong thing. Let's see how those guys actually are. So we scouted a Sam linebacker, or a Mike linebacker. He's actually round 2 to 3 guy. Then we scouted a couple offensive linemen. Round 1 for Max Staley. Round 1 to 2 for Damian Bright. All right. Decent. Decent. Where are we picking at, by the way? What draft pick do we have? We have pick number 13. They have us taking a quarterback. You're mistaken. We have Joe Milton. We have Joe Milton. Should probably get into a better scheme fit, though. Scheme fit to be chucking. And we're going to change from Philadelphia. Who would be a good playbook for Joe Milton? Maybe Detroit with Jared Goff? The Rams and Stafford? Houston and CJ Stroud, but they never simulate very well, do they? Cincinnati might end up being the best playbook. Let's go Cincinnati offense. And I might change to a dominant defense. Like Pittsburgh's defense could always be good. Buffalo's defense is good. San Francisco could be a nice one. Denver always got good defenses. Dallas is usually pretty good. Detroit's defense. Let's go Detroit's defense. Because we got Hutchinson, so might as well capitalize on that. Let's start the draft. And hope that year number 4 goes well. I don't know if it will. We have pick number 13. We'll skip right to our pick. And we will see who's available at 13. I have no idea where I want to go with this pick. And I can't hardly see the board. Good God, Madden. You got to figure your crap out. Oh my God. What is this? All right, well, I guess we have a translucent screen. Because that's what I want. I can barely even see the stuff. Good God, this video game just continues to shock me at how stupid the people who make it are. All right, let's try to figure out where we're going here and draft somebody. I know it's hard to see. I apologize. This is not my fault. This is the video games. I don't think there's anybody. The Staley guy is still available. He's a round 1 guy. So is Damian Bright. I honestly don't know where I want to go with this pick. Do we just take a guy that we know is going to be a round 1 talent like Staley? But we don't need another guard. But I'm going to take him anyway. Max Staley, welcome aboard. I'm just more tired of seeing that screen than anything. He's number 9 in the class. He's a hidden dev. He's a great player. And you know what? I'm just going to let the CPU handle the rest because I don't want to look at that screen anymore. You can draft the rest. I don't freaking care. I don't need to look at that translucent screen. All right. How'd they do? How did they do? So Staley's a 78 overall. Then they got 73 quarterback Deontay Brooks. Get that out of here, 73 overall. Does he have a dev? If he has a dev, there's something there. He does have a dev. 93 throw power. Ooh, maybe they got somebody. Deontay Brooks. He's not very fast, but he's got a cannon, and his accuracies are not the worst I've ever seen. Intriguing. Very, very intriguing. I'm still going to stick with Joe Milton for this 4th season. I think, right? This is 4th season? I think so. I'm still going to stick with him because we haven't seen if he's any good anyway. So obviously I'm going to stick with him just to see. We're also in the new playbook. We're in the Cincinnati playbook, so he's going to be slanging that rock like Joe Burrow, which will probably help out Zay Flowers and Chris Olave a little bit, and maybe even Kyle Pitts because Gesicki usually gets a lot of targets, so maybe that'll help out Kyle Pitts. All right, season number 4 is about to be underway with Joe Milton as our new starting quarterback. I tried Spencer Rattler, and to be fair, he was developing and playing fine. He just wasn't playing like I needed him to play. I needed him to be better, and he just wasn't. He was average. He was just fine. And we can't have just fine. Just fine doesn't really win you a Super Bowl. But here we are. Joe Milton, then the rookie, then Tyler Shuck. The rest of the team is ready to win a championship. This team is a championship caliber team. You can win a championship in Madden with a team like this. I've done it before. So here we go. Season number 4 is about to be underway. I will see you guys at the end of it. The season's over and we made the playoffs. So maybe Cincinnati's playbook is better than I initially thought, or maybe Joe Milton's that guy. I don't know. I guess he is. 5,000. Oh my God, Joe Milton. Oh my God. 5,100 yards, 42 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, a 70% completion percentage, sacked 55 times. He was slanging the rock, and he didn't care who was catching it. Offense, defense, he's just hucking. But it worked. 5,100 yards, leads the entire league. But the Bengal playbook does not let you run the football very much. Although 13 touchdowns, not too bad. Offensively, I mean, Zachary Singer, good God. 1,400 yards, 17 touchdowns. Olave had 1,300 with 8 touchdowns. Flowers had 1,100 with 7. Pitts was pretty good as well. I mean, the Bengal playbook doesn't mess around when it comes to passing the football. Jesus. Okay. Edger and Cooper with 123 tackles. Powell had 77. McKinstry had 74. Tackle for loss leader is 19 with Hutchinson. We are in the Detroit Lion playbook, so this makes sense. 14 sacks for Chase Young, 11 for Holcomb. And the sack leader was Hutch with 18, 13 for Holcomb, 9.5 for Young, 7 for Brissy. A lot of sacks this year. McKinstry had 4 picks. Wagner had 2. So did Johnson. 1 for a couple of the guys. But oh my God, 5,100 yards and 42 touchdowns for Joe Milton. He's got to be MVP, right? That's got to be MVP. And we finally make the playoffs for the first time ever in this rebuild. Did we move on? Or are we one and done? We moved on. We play the Rams. The L.A. Rams. Yeah. Will we beat them? I don't know. Hopefully. That'd be pretty sick if this Bengal playbook is that good. Let's find out. On the road in Los Angeles. SoFi Stadium, I think, right? They still share it with the Chargers? No, we lose 31-27, so we get bumped in the second round. But hey, winning a playoff game in our first time there, Joe Milton might be that dude. 5,100 yards. I mean, I knew that he could throw the football, but if you give him the right playbook, he's going to go nuclear. That's got to be MVP. I don't know how anything else could be. It's going to be the Jets and the Panthers. All right, Madden, now we're just getting random. Now we're just getting absolutely crazy. The Jets and the Panthers are in the Super Bowl. But what I want to know is dev trade upgrades. That's what I want to know. As the Jets get the championship. Isn't that just a nice surprise? All right, let's take a look at this lineup. Let's see dev trade upgrades. I need it. I'm fiending for it. Give me some dev trade upgrades. Joe Milton goes to normal dev. Are you serious? He had 5,100 freaking yards. How does he not go up a dev trait after that? He's got 99 throw power. My God. He would actually probably be pretty fun to play with in an actual game. Maybe Cleveland Brown franchise. Maybe we trade for Joe Milton. I don't know. This Brooks dude is a 79, so if we didn't have Joe Milton, we would be pretty set. And he's got superstar dev. Maybe we should just ride with him. I don't know. I'm all conflicted now. I thought he would go up to star dev at least. Wagner's an X factor. So is Ringer. McKinstry's superstar dev. What's going on with this team? How do we not win more games? Chase Young's developing. This team should be better than it is. And I don't know why it's not. Crazy season for you gave the MVP to Tyrell Bibbs? How good was he? What was his season? Tyrell Bibbs for the Jets. How many yards did he put up? 4,300 yards, 53 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and did nothing on the ground. So you think that because he put up 53 touchdowns, that's better than 5,100 yards and 42 touchdowns? That's what you're going to give the MVP to. That's what you're going to give the MVP to. Over that. Because he had 53 touchdowns and not 42. All right, let's not get crazy here. But maybe we found the right combination of quarterback and playbook. And maybe Spencer Rattler could have done similar things if we would have gave him the opportunity, but we just didn't give him the opportunity. We have a lot of guys to pay and not much money to do so. And all these guys want a good amount of money. All right, now we're starting to get to a problem where we're running out of money and we're running out of time. We might have to start getting into the restructuring portion, which I didn't really want to have to do, but we're probably going to have to get into the restructures if we're going to want to bring these guys back. Because we're really only going to have one more season to win a championship before we have to let go of a lot of really talented players, and then we're in for an even longer rebuild. So I don't really want to go down that road. So if we can just restructure those top contracts, this menu lag is so annoying. That gives us 57 million. That should be enough to bring everybody back. So we got to get back Caleb Johnson. He's our starting running back, and he's developed really well. Even though now in the Bengal playbook, he's not as valuable. He's still a good player. He's coming back. We got to get back Jonas Sanker. Because he's our starting strong free safety, so we want him back. He's a good player, solid, and he's coming back. Welcome aboard. We also need Will Johnson back. He was a good corner for us this past season. He's returning. We also need Zachary Singer back. We'll accept his option. We need Fuaga back. He's our starting offensive guard. That makes much sense. So we will give you much money. He's coming back. Welcome back. What else do we got? We got Quincy Riley, Stutzman, Hancock. We kind of need Hancock back because he's our starting safety. So let's offer Jordan Hancock a contract. Shouldn't be that much. He's coming back. Thank you. That leaves us with Stutzman and Riley. Riley's a little bit cheaper, so we can afford him, I would think. Oh, just barely under. All right. What if I lower this a little bit and then give him 4 years? He's interested in free agency. 31 million on a franchise tag is something I can't really do, but I might have to unless I want to trade him. Do I want to trade him? I might have to. I might have to trade Riley. I didn't want to do it. I was hoping he'd be around for the entire video, but it looks like it's not going to unfold that way. So maybe we can grab another young corner, though. Is there another young corner around that same kind of range? Jamal Fleming's got 1 year left on his rookie deal. Niles Rice. There's DJ Turner again, but he's kind of old. Clayton Logan might not be a bad idea. Maybe we could try to get him. Riley for Logan straight up. I'll take that. I don't need to get anything more for that. As long as we just get another replacement. And then we got to trade Stutzman. Danny Stutzman, who I do like. He just never really took off the way that I was hoping he would. But it makes sense. So we will we'll go to the Will position, see if we can replace him with somebody of equal or slightly better value, I would hope. Maybe we could get back... We probably can't get back Robbie O'Sullivan. That's probably not a possibility. They don't really like that. Maybe if I toss in some draft picks, which I haven't really traded, to be fair. All right, a second-round pick makes it a little bit more enticing for them. What about a third-round pick next year? I'm kind of going all in trying to win a Super Bowl this year, so the draft picks don't have that much meaning to me as they usually would, and that will go through. So a lot of draft picks, and Danny Stutzman gets us a superstar dev Will linebacker, which is pretty good. And if we put our faith in Joe Milton, maybe we'll win a Super Bowl this year. All right. The team looks good now. We replaced some guys. Maybe we can have some good stuff happening here. I don't know. Is there anybody else that I need to re-sign? Devin Neal, I think we're just going to have to let go. Tyler Shuck, we're going to have to let go. Devin Neal's cool, but we got Caleb Johnson. And with no injuries, it doesn't really matter that much. So let's move. Let's get moving. Let's get shaking, big dogs. We got an upgrade player. It's probably that O'Sullivan dude. And it is. He's an 82 overall, but he's got superstar dev, so that should be helpful. That should be helpful, especially if we're winning games. We're not going to be able to sign anybody in free agency, but I'll take a look. Ayuk is the highest overall player here. There's some interesting names. I like the names. But nobody that I'm going to sign. Kyler didn't get signed by the Cardinals. He didn't get re-signed, so he made it to free. So that's kind of funny. Let's get to the draft. I have no idea where we're going to be drafting. Well, it's going to be late. I have no idea who we're going to be drafting. That's what I probably should have said. Let's not even go into it. No, I'll take my first round pick. I'll do the first round pick. As long as the thing's not glitched again. Because that's annoying. Sim to user pick. Who's going to be that first rounder? God, this is so slow. Pick it up. Good God. Fix your menu screens. All right, here we go. And it's... Really? All right, let's just grab somebody. Let's just grab this corner. Cameron Mays, 6'2", not great, but let's grab him because I can't look at that screen. So he's number 21 in true value. He's got a hidden dev, 94 throw power. Oh, he's a quarterback? I thought he was a corner. Oh. Well, we got a quarterback. I thought it said cornerback, but it was a quarterback. Whatever. We took a quarterback. We don't need one. We already have two that are good. He's a 76 overall. We got Pat Irwin, who's a 72. The rest of the class is kind of cheeks, but that's okay. NFL best player in it is an 85 strong safety Morgan Noel. I don't know, but an 85. That's the first time I've seen an 85. That's pretty impressive. Good for the Niners. They got a good player there. I would have liked to have an 85 overall strong safety, but I like Jordan Hancock, so I'm fine with that. And we move into, what, year number 5 now? Year number 5 of the rebuild. This has got to be the championship year. We've seen the progression. We know that Joe Milton in the Cincinnati playbook is crazy good. So we just got to put it all together and win a championship this year. I can see it. I can see it in my mind's eye. The Saints are going to win a championship with Joe Milton as the starting quarterback, which seems a little crazy, but it's going to happen. I can believe. I still can't believe that he didn't get a dev trade upgrade. He put up 5,100 yards and 42 touchdowns. You don't give him a star dev for that? Seems a little bit aggressively mean. But let's take a look at this. Nope, not that. Let's take a look at this lineup one more time before we simulate. So this is our year 5 lineup. We got Joe Milton and we got Brooks. We could go with him, but I'm going to stay with Milton because we know how good he was. Let me take a look at Brooks real quick. What was his throw power and accuracies and all that kind of stuff? Because the Superstar Dev couldn't let him go crazy. 93 throw power. His accuracies are fairly good. But the Superstar Dev makes me want to start him over Milton. I don't know what I want to do. I think I'm going to start him over Milton. Oh, I don't know if that's a good idea or not. The Superstar Dev is getting to my brain, making me think that it's a good idea to start him. I don't know if it is. Maybe Milton is the right guy. I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. Here we go. Year number 5 about to be underway. We reached the playoffs again, this time with 13 wins. Unfortunately, that's not good enough for the number 1 seed, apparently. We have to be behind both the Packers and... Actually, we're ahead of the Packers. Behind the Seahawks, who had 15 wins. But it looks like no matter who the quarterback is, we're going to be putting up numbers because this man, Deontay Brooks, puts up 5,100 yards, 39 touchdowns, 7 interceptions in the Bengal playbook. I guess he was the right choice over Joe Milton. No disrespect to Joe. He was crazy. He put up good numbers too, but the Superstar Dev was what pushed it over the line. 21 touchdowns for Caleb Johnson. He must be a goal line merchant. 1,900 yards for Zay Flowers with 24 touchdowns. If that's not Offensive Player of the Year or MVP, I don't know what it is. Olave had 1,200 yards and 4 touchdowns. 1,900 yards and 24 touchdowns is a crazy season. Defensively, 107 tackles for Cooper. Tackle for loss leader is Hutch. Also, sack leader was 17.5, 11.5 for Chase Young. I'm glad he's doing okay. 4 interceptions for McKinstry, 3 for Ringer, 2 for Johnson. But Deontay Brooks, man, puts up 5,100 yards during the season. Can we win the playoff game against the Vikings, which Saints-Vikings playoffs, a lot of history there. And we do win, 34-28. We win against the Vikings. The Vikings. and we will move on to the divisional round where we got bumped by the Rams last year. Now we take on the Packers. I got to see what this man's overall is. Is he going crazy? He's up to a 92. He's playing up to a 92 with 5+ morale. I would definitely assume that's X factor after the season. Pitts is having a great year. He's getting some good morale boosts. 1,900 yards from Zay Flowers is absolutely insane. We've drafted very well. Wagner, Holcomb, Ringer. And then on the offense, we got Brooks, who the CPU drafted. Singer was amazing. An amazing pick. Alvarez has been good. We've drafted pretty well, but the rest of this team has just been trading and developing. 1,900 yards. That's crazy. That's crazy. I can't believe it. 1,900 yards is just insane. And now we've got a divisional round matchup against the Pack. Is it going to be a win or is it going to be a loss? Don't bump us out 2 years in a row, please. Oh, I didn't mean to click this, but it looks like we're in. I didn't mean to click. I was clicking too fast. 38-14 over the Packers. We will play in the NFC Championship for the first time in the rebuild. I told you, man, I needed this to be the season, and it is. We're going to the NFC Championship against Seattle. They won 15 games. We are going to jump in here because we jump in for NFC Championship or for championship games and Super Bowls. So we're going to jump in. I'm just hoping we jump in and it goes our way because I want to go into the Super Bowl and I want to win it. The NFC Championship against Seattle. They won 15 games. They're a good team, but we're better. We are the higher overall team. We should be better. I want to play in the Super Bowl. I think this team has the capabilities to play in the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. We just got to get there. We've got a quarterback that can get us there. We got a defense that can get us there. We got receivers that can get us there. We got a coach that can give us there. All we got to do is actually simulate on the field. It's 20-10. That's looking good. But the Seattle Seahawks are driving. They get a field or they get a touchdown. It's a field goal game. Put it in the end zone, please. Not Seattle. It's over. The Saints win. 20-17. It was looking pretty close there at the end. But the Saints win. We will play for a Super Bowl in the next game. That's huge. That's really, really huge. I cannot believe we're actually playing in it. It feels so good. It's just, it's so annoying that it takes a playbook to be able to make a team good. I wish that wasn't the case. But at least we found a new good one, which, I mean, I kind of knew already that the Bengal playbook was really good from previous Maddens. But, I mean, the 5,100 yards back-to-back seasons with two different quarterbacks is kind of crazy. And we will take on the Raiders in the Super Bowl. This is kind of a wild Super Bowl if you think about it. Saints and Raiders in the Super Bowl. Let's take a quick peek at the lineup screen to see if there's any depth chart upgrades before we jump into the game. Boom! X Factor for Deontay Brooks. That's huge. Let's go, baby. What about on defense? Nothing that I noticed. Everybody thinks, or I think everybody stayed this. And maybe Kool-Aid went up to Superstar. That seems new. That could be new. Seems new. But we take on the Vegas Raiders. The Raiders. And we will try to win a Super Bowl in year 5, 6, something like that of the rebuild. This is one of my longer ones in a while. But we're just getting used to the way Madden 26 works. Also, it's very slow. A lot of lag time, a lot of input delay and all that kind of stuff. So that also hinders some of the time. Simulation speed slow. But hey, we're here now. Let's go win a Super Bowl. The Super Bowl against Vegas. And it looks like, is it in Vegas? I can't tell what the stadium is here. We lead 3-0 though in the second quarter. This doesn't look like their stadium though, so maybe it's not. 13-0. That's a good start. I love it. 13-3. 13-10 is not that good. I don't like that. I'd like to put up some more touchdowns if possible. But the Raiders put up a touchdown. 13-17. Let's get some points, boys. There it is. 20-17. Hold them on. Hold the line. They tied it. You got to be kidding me. It's 20-20 with 12 seconds left. How could we allow them to get it? How? It's not possible. 12 seconds, 3 timeouts. Is it any way we can get to the field goal marker? 7 seconds. Is there a single shred of a chance that we could throw this for a field goal? Or maybe a touchdown. A touchdown would be legendary, wouldn't it? Should we try like a slot fade or something? Is that too crazy? I'm just kind of looking for a regular 4 verticals, but 3 on one side. Let's see. What do I want to call here? I honestly don't know. I think I might just go regular 4 verticals. They're going to play as far back as physically possible. It makes sense. Here we go. Down the field. Dropped. I thought if I threw it quickly, he'd catch it. I thought if I threw it quickly, there'd be a chance he could catch it. Oh, that's kind of upsetting. I thought he might have had that one. If we could have got down and then... Oh my god, 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 oh my god! Singer couldn't bring it in. I was hoping if we threw that down the seam there, Flowers would be able to catch it, get down, and then we'd be able to call a timeout, kick a field goal, but that didn't really work out, did it? Hey, there's Quincy. We thought about drafting Quincy. That's kind of funny. Here we go. It's Super Bowl time. We win the toss. We're going to receive. That might be a stupid idea because everybody gets a chance, but I want to score a touchdown. At least I hope that the boys score a touchdown here. We probably should have kicked, but we're gonna go for offense. Got to be aggressive. Third down alert. Get there, boys. Get there. Touchdown, please. There it is. 27-20. Hold them, and the Saints are Super Bowl champions. 27-20. We've finally done it for the first time since Drew Brees. All the way back in, what was that, 2009, 2010? Somewhere around there. Not 2010. I think that was Rodgers and the Packers in 2010. Somewhere around the 2009 to 2011 range is when they did it, I think. But the Saints are champions again. We couldn't have done it without Deontay. What's his face? I forget his name already. Deontay something. The heck's his last name? Brooks, that's what it is. Deontay Brooks. Couldn't have done it without him. Maybe we could have done it with Joe Milton. We'll never know. I knew this team was ready to win a championship. They were just too good everywhere else other than quarterback. It was a fun one-year season with Joe Milton, that's for sure. But I'm more curious about if Zay Flowers is going to win Offensive Player of the Year. He's got to. 1,900 yards. You don't win Offensive Player of the Year. That's kind of you have to, right? Yeah, he does win it. I was going to say. But Deontay Brooks gets the Super Bowl MVP. I guess they have all the Super Bowls here. When's the last time they won it? Was it 2009? Was I right? It was. Look at me. 2009. I got a brain. Drew Brees gets it done. So basically, what, 20 years? 19 years? I'll take that. But the rebuild is now complete. We have given the first Super Bowl of Madden 26 to the New Orleans Saints. Took us a little longer than I would have liked, but in the end, we got it done nonetheless. This is our final team for the rebuild. We got Deontay Brooks, who was kind of just an auto-generated pick. He was a 73 overall hidden dev quarterback that the CPU drafted. And he ends up becoming a god-tier quarterback. I mean, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Fantastic. Could we have done it with Joe Milton? I don't know. Maybe. We maybe could have. But him not getting star dev after having 5,100 yards and 42 touchdowns kind of broke my spirit with Joe Milton. And it also didn't help that we had a guy who already had superstar dev. He just needed the time to start in the right playbook, and he was going to go crazy, as we see. Kyle Pitts developed really well once he got the chance to. Fuaga's doing good. The entire offensive line's looking good. Zay Flowers, I mean, he's unbelievable. And getting him for what we did was pretty awesome. Singer was a great draft pick. Olave's been good the entire time. Caleb Johnson at running back was really good. This guy right here, DJ Holcomb, I mean, we kind of just took him randomly, and he ends up being one of the best players we've taken. He's so good. He's almost scary good. He's been amazing the entire time he's been on the team. Chase Young developed okay. He didn't really turn out to be anything too crazy, which is kind of annoying. Aiden Hutchinson was an unbelievable pickup, as you would expect. Freaking Singer, dude. Or Ringer, not even Singer. Ringer. Daryl Ringer. Little tiny short dude, but he's a freak. I mean, he can cover both man and zone. He's got the speed to keep up with anybody. This dude's a beast. He's one of the best players I've ever drafted. He's so good. And then we got this guy right here, Braden Wagner, who was really not even on the radar. He was a star dev player who was kind of just okay, and he's turned himself into one of the best. I mean, he's the number 2 ranked strong side linebacker in the league. So I'd say he's a pretty good player. But that is going to do it for this rebuild. It was a fun one. It was definitely a good one to start out with. That was a challenge for the first Madden 26 rebuild. I'm glad we chose the Saints, and I can't wait to do more rebuilds for Madden 26 with more teams. I'm probably thinking the Jets, obviously. I'm thinking the Steelers once Roger retires. I'm thinking the Raiders with Ashton Genty could be fun. The Colts, figure out what we do with Richardson and Daniel Jones. I mean, there's a lot of teams we can choose to rebuild. And then obviously, if the modders get their hands on the game and they're able to put those retro rosters in there, then we'll start doing the good stuff, which is the retro rebuilds like we usually do. So if that comes out, then be aware of those. But for now, it's just going to be the modern rebuilds, and I've got a lot of teams on my mind. So if you enjoyed this one and you have a specific team in your mind you want to see me rebuild in the future, leave it down below in the comments, and I will take them on in a future rebuild. But that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.